TalkBox.
Did you do stand-up when you were doing
No.
Okay.
But it was the reason I got into it was because I was so like I had a notebook for like my advertising, and then I had another notebook where I'd just go off and vent and just be like, I fucking hate this stuff, blah 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 blah. Why can't I just do what I want to do? And just
need
like
that.
absolutely, and just like I felt such a sense of freedom in these notebooks. It was like no one can tell me what to do in these notebooks, and like I can draw anything, I can write anything. I absolutely loved it. And then one day the creative director said, I'm having a fireworks party and there's going to be a bit of poetry. And because he's...
Who does that?
Amazing. And I'd been sending... This was the thing when, people talk about luck. I moved down to London thinking I'm just going to send off some books of short stories that I'd written to advertising companies and like make the covers really nice with like tracing paper and just send in. There's ideas in these.
Yeah.
Advertising companies like ideas.
Of course.
Let's see if anyone likes this. But they would just not get back to me at all. I spent so much time like handwriting them all and sending the emails, and no one got back to me whatsoever. And then my dad phoned me up and said he was a plumber.
How are you?
Well, he's a plumber, right? He's retired now. But he said where he buys his plumbing pipes from and his equipment, he must have been in there talking about me. And then the person who worked there said, my brother-in-law runs an advertising company in London. Why don't you get him to send his stuff in? And then I did.
Just him? He runs it?
No, it was like he was like one of the head
Big
people
guys.
there. Yeah. And then I sent in I made a CV that was like it was a cartoon strip, and I put conversation. I put conversation at the top of it with the C big and the V big.
Oh,
and
nice.
So CV, and then it was just a conversation between like me and a pig going, and the pig's going like, "Why do you want to work in advertising?" Blah blah.
That's the best.
And I thought
I would hire you.
And then I was like, "Oh God, come on, someone please!" And then
someone get my pig conversation.
But the creative director did.
Yeah.
A guy called Martin Galton who did like some of the first ever like good Levi's adverts, and he was quite a big dog in advertising, and did like he's an amazing art director and painter and artist, and did some of the first like groundbreaking Haagen-Dazs adverts and stuff like that. And he had been running this poetry night called Bang Said the Gun, and then
At his house?
Well, they actually did it in the Bowery Ballroom in New York once.
Oh, I've been there.
And
we did the Boosh there.
Yeah, really. And then they did it, I think they did it somewhere on maybe like Jermyn Street somewhere. And then,
Germany.
In Germany Street. And they said, and then anyway, they'd been having a break or whatever. And then I did that fireworks. He said, do you want to, well, let's go back to it. So I'd been filling up these notebooks. He came and said, I'm having a fireworks party at my house. There's going to be a bit of poetry. And I said, I've been writing some stuff down. I don't know if it's poetry or not, but do you think I could read it out? I was like, it was one of those things where...
rants?
Yeah, and I don't know why. I just felt...
Were you slam people?
No, yeah, just slagging off advertising the whole time. No, it was just stuff that... I don't know, something made me think there was something in it. I think there was... I would I'd write stuff up on the computers in the advertising office. And I remember I did this piece that was all about the moon being the new face of the British National Party, right? And how people get annoyed when the moon gets taken over by darkness through the moon cycle. And then the people would be like, this is what's happening to our country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like saying, so the moon is the new face of the British National Party, and then all the racist people are getting annoyed because of the shadow coming over the moon, whatever. And I saw someone pick it up on the photocopier and read it and go like, whoa. And the reaction, I thought, oh, there's something that I was like, oh, that maybe there was something in it. I just like that idea of the moon being the new face of the British National Party and there being something in it. You know?
Also, that was a pristine idea you just wrote down out of your brain.
Yeah, but that's those pristine ideas where you like. You know, there was another one was like, if I had a pen for a penis, I'd write all over your face. I'd use your spots as punctuation. Not one blemish would I waste. If it was all right with you, I'd fill your mouth with ink and use it as a quill. So when we got to restaurants, I could indecently sign the bill. And I'd be like, print, someone's reading it. What is that? And then...
Do you think subconsciously you left it so that they would read it?
No, I don't know. I just... But it was just... I don't know. It's those... That's my favourite...
That's great, though.
Thing about just trying to get stuff out of your head onto a bit of paper as quick as you can.
Yeah.
So there's as little interference as possible.
Yeah.
And then just like throwing the dice of it and going, oh, that's a good one, or that's a bad one. And then just not really ever knowing. That's one of the things that I find hardest about stand-up is that sometimes I have an idea and think, oh, I love that. That's going to go well. And then it just doesn't. And then you have another idea and you're like, well, and then you go, really?
Yeah,
that
how
one?
do you know? Yeah.
You just can't. There's no way of knowing.
Yeah. There's some that you try to hammer home because this is good.
Yeah.
And it never seems to work if you keep hammering
maybe
it.
that goes back to the audition thing of just being like, just chuck it out there and then... I think I read a thing in Stuart Lee's book where he's on about audiences being like cats, where if you pretend that you're not interested, they come up and they round your legs and like... And the... so then I...
what about this poetry thing?
Well, yeah, I did the gig on the garden wall. I stood up on his garden wall and there was fireworks and there was a bit of poetry. And I was saying stuff like... I had a flatmate called Nigel who lived in a shell. I guess that means that I did as well, which was not, it's not my best stuff, but at the start. And they were like, yeah, no, not really that bothered by it. But there was enough stuff for me to feel enthused by it.
How long did you go? How long was your set?
I think maybe it was 10 minutes.
Nice.
Maybe even like 7. And it didn't go that well, but it went well enough for me to feel good about it.
Hope, yeah.
Yeah, it gave me hope. And hope.
Did anybody else go up?
Yeah, so Martin did some, and then Dan Cockrell, this other person from Banks of the Gun, and a girl called Sharnika, they were running it.
Wow.
And I'd love to think of it as like a lightning striking type of thing where my life was just made from that moment, but it just wasn't that at all. It was like I tried something and it went well enough for me to have gone, I want to do that again. That's such an important thing, isn't it? To go, I'd like to do that again. Even if it's like an audition and you go, God, that was horrible. But I don't, they haven't got to me. They haven't killed me. And I feel that way about audiences a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some shocking gigs, but
me too.
Never bad enough for me to not be like laughing about it in the morning, or like just annoyed in kind of a weird way.
Well, some people would quit over something like that, which means they have a soft exterior. Or, they quit very easily. But you, my friend, you're hard as nails.
I feel, like I do, honestly, I don't know if you get this, like when you do comedy or stand up in front of an audience, I do feel like it does toughen you up.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
I feel like I could lead people into battle.
Yeah.
In an army situation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not as scared as I used to be.
No.
that might sound flippant, and I know that you need a lot of training to lead people into battle, but I would be like, come on, what's going to happen? We could die. Yeah. That's how I feel when I go on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
You've
like...
died many times?
I've died many times. It's different, with war and everything like that, but...